So tell us about this Guantanamo trap thing. This Rice Street thing. How did you get so passionate about Rice Street and how the treatment of inmates and what's going on in there? Let's hear that.
Fulton County Jail is an affront to civilized society, man. 10 people have perished in that jail, in Fulton County Jail in 2023, due to the conditions, the subpar conditions, the below constitutional level conditions that people have to deal with on Rice Street. We're talking about the deaths range from anywhere from bed bug infestations to stabbings, to overdoses, 10 of them. And Sheriff Pat Labat, he's to blame for it.
What?
He's definitely to blame for it. He has the blood on his hands. And
why would you say that though? Why you say Sheriff Labat to blame?
It's his man. He's the leader. There's no organization that exists that the leader is not held accountable or is not handsomely rewarded for their actions.
So you think he being rewarded for these deaths?
Basically, listen, this is where I stand with the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system is nothing but an extension of the slavery, of the transatlantic slave system, first and foremost. So
you think he being rewarded for being a slave?
I know he's being rewarded. So he doesn't see
that's a bold statement.
And listen, you can see we haven't even made it 10 days into the 2024, and you already had one death on Rice Street. You still have millions.
What? Hold on. Somebody died already?
Somebody already died on Rice Street.
How?
Not even 10 days into the new year.
How? What was the cause of death,
He was just found unresponsive in his cell.
That's crazy.
These are facts.
That's crazy.
You still have millions of dollars that's unaccounted for that the sheriff got on the news and said it was a mistake. Somewhere doing accounting, they put the wrong money in different buckets. So millions of dollars are unaccounted for. Nobody's been indicted as of yet.
So you telling me the sheriff of Atlanta, Sheriff Lambert,
Pat
Labat is openly saying that money's coming up missing with no explanation for it.
Money is missing to the tune of millions of dollars. And he just got $5.3 million in October. Ostensibly to clean up the jail. I've been invited to walk the jail, to tour the jail. I did 17 years of prison, so I'm familiar with when outsiders come inside a correctional facility.
Right.
What happens is the outsiders are typically shown what the jailers want to show you.
Right.
I've been inside a correctional facility in West Virginia where Washington, D.C. officials were being shown the computer room. And the computer room was very beautiful.
Right.
And in fact, it was so beautiful because no inmates used those computers. And I made sure to tell those Washington, D.C. representatives of what was going on. So, in the vein of John Lewis, I'm with the good trouble. And so I'm not interested in walking through a jail and seeing buff floors or seeing, sanitized holding cells, because I've been in those holding cells when there's been 50 people crammed in those cells. So
you've been locked up in Fulton County Jail before?
I was locked up in Fulton County Jail. My first experience was in the 90s, 1998. I was incarcerated in Fulton County Jail, but as recently as October of 2023, I experienced it. I explained it all on my Instagram, The Real Anthony J. Brown. That's the real
they gonna click it at the bottom. It's
no
gonna
doubt.
It's at the bottom. Y'all click it at the bottom.
So hit it up. So my first 3 posts that I got pinned to my IG is just explaining my foray into Fulton County Jail this most recent time.
Right.
My thing is human rights.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We just gonna get to the foundation of this. Human rights. Human rights, constitutional rights are being violated on a daily basis in there, to the extent that you're having deaths.
Mm-hmm.
But even beneath the deaths, it's the treatment of the detainees who are primarily Black, who are going through Fulton County Jail. Now, this same sheriff assured not only the citizens of Atlanta, but the nation, that Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and RICO co-conspirators would get the same treatment as regular citizens.
Right.
Donald Trump's probably in Fulton County Jail for 20 minutes. When I went to Fulton County Jail, I had to endure 86 hours with my bail being already paid.
I ain't gonna cap. Donald Trump, the first president to ever be locked up and have his mugshot taken.
Sure.
So
sure.
he wasn't supposed to be in there. You know what I mean? 20 minutes is too long. I ain't even gonna cap for as the respects of the president of the United States in Rice Street.
And I'm giving you respect on that. Oh yeah, but what about Rudy Giuliani?
He ain't Donald Trump.
He didn't spend that long in Rice Street either. He didn't endure those holding cells either. Or the other 12 co-conspirators. You know who did endure it?
Who?
The one black co-defendant. He, the only one that was black, he had to stay in Rice Street for whatever reason.
You know what? For every reason, because he black. What you thought?
There you go with this pervasive criminal justice system. So, in a nutshell, Guantanamo Trap, I feel like in order for us to reform that, Sheriff Pat Labott has to go.
How long he been the sheriff?
He has to go. I'm not sure what his tenure been because I re-entered society in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't that familiar with local Atlanta politics as I am now. As a restorative justice advocate, I must be engaged now.
Right.
And we can get into that. What that's about?
Yeah, tell me what is that?
Restorative justice is basically a concept that when people serve time in prison, that's not justice. Me being removed from my children for 17 years for bank robbery is not justice.
Right.
What the justice comes when I come back and restore the very communities that I participated in devastating. That I devastated with my actions and my absence. So you now in my presence, I'm here to restore.
So you saying there should be more reformation, more of getting you ready. What is it called?
Rehabilitation.
It should be more rehabilitation than just sentencing you out. You don't think it's a lot of that going on right now? Everybody don't want to be rehabilitated, bro. Tell me how you feel like it.
All right.
Because everybody don't want to be.
Answer. If you want it, it's a long answer.
That's it.
All right. When you talk about rehabilitation, you got to go into history. You got to go into history. If I go before a doctor, I never seen this doctor before in my life. This doctor's going to ask me about chicken pox when I had chicken pox. When I think about when I had chicken pox, I was in the 4th grade. So now we're talking about when I was in the 4th grade. Then you want to know my mother's history.
Right.
So now we're going before I was born. So now you want to know my mother's history, my dad's history, because he's trying to ascertain information about what? My history, right?
Right.
So the same approach needs to be done socially when you talk about the ills and the ills of our community presently. You have to talk about the history. You have to talk about slavery. You have to talk about institutions that were designed to make us think the way we think and move the way we move in this present day. We don't act like we act in a vacuum. These systems aren't in place in a vacuum. The criminal justice system, what we see today with Rice Street, did not happen in a vacuum. It's a continuation of when slavery was abolished in 1865 after slavery had been in existence since 1619. So they said that the new slaves would be criminals. So this system didn't just happen. So these deaths, the swindling, the exploitation, all the headlines that we see, even down to the correctional staff, that they get caught, bringing in cigarettes, bringing in whatever contraband, it's all part of the original system because the original system was about exploitation.
Exploitation of the black man.
There you go.